Make sure you loosen up. This is just primarily going to be dynamic stretching with rotations and stretches that help while moving. So it's like movement stretches or dynamic stretching. That's what this is called. So after you loosen up the shoulders, go ahead and rotate your body, get your hips and everything all moving together.
Getting old, man. I'm getting old.
Go ahead and stretch those hamstrings out. Sure, slow and smooth movements. These are what they call cherry pickers. Also another hamstring stretch, kind of like a gradual, instead of side to side, it's a gradual move back to stretch further each time. Go ahead and get your knees up, get that motion going up and down. It's kind of helping with the blood flow. Go ahead and swing it out so you can get a full stretch on your hamstring and get your moving back and forward. It stretches out your hip flexor and your hamstring. So when we get into these exercises, the goal is to do each exercise for 1 minute and then move to the next exercise. And once you get through the full rotation, we'll drop down to 45 seconds. Full rotation 30 seconds, full rotation 15 seconds for each exercise. And the goal is to do as many as you can during this time frame. Try not to stop if you can. There's a few where I stop, but again, make your best attempt not to stop. Even if you just stand up and hold for a few seconds and then go back in, try that. And these exercises can be modified as well if you don't have certain things like the stools or, a broom, a handle that you can use. Do that, okay. Again, 1 minute start. First starts off with push-ups. And then we'll move into each one and I'll kind of give the name of each one as we go along, but names aren't so important, just kind of go with the motion, all right?
Timer. We'll set the timer to 1 minute. All right.
So here we go.
Everything's 1 minute. Just follow what I do. Here we go.
Trying to make sure all your push-ups are full range of motion. You see, I'm bringing my chest down all the way just before touching. And I'm extending my elbows all the way as well. There's different variations of form for the push-ups. Some put their elbows a little further back. It just kind of depends on what you want to work more. You want to work more of your inner and your tricep. You can bring your hands and elbows in and back. You want to work more of your upper chest. You can bring your hands out and your elbows out as well. When I say upper chest, and actually meaning like width-wise, not necessarily upper, but the span of your chest versus more so the bottom of your triceps, or the outer and inner. Sorry, wider is outer chest, closer is inner chest, and again closer is also triceps. So moving to an ab exercise. I'm not exactly sure what this is called, to be honest with you, but the point is to bring your legs and your upper body up at the same time. Show you a different angle. If you can touch your toes, it's good. If not, just kind of make sure you get that full motion. Okay. And most of these exercises should be back to back, but you'll probably have to take a rest a few times like I did. But try not to rest while you're doing your exercise. Just rest once you are finished with the exercise, and try not to rest for too long. And I try to work different muscle groups after each exercise, so that way you can actually do or perform the exercise without being fatigued, because it's working a totally different muscle group. Okay. So then we go. I think this is in the lunges. Again, you're gonna do this for 1 minute. Full range of motion. Step forward. Try to make sure your knee is not going in front of your toes, but also make sure that your shin is as close to perpendicular to the ground as possible. Not too far forward either. The bottom of your shin should not be pushed too far forward. So your shin should be as close to parallel as possible, and your knee should just be about to touch the ground. You can touch it, but don't bang it. I'm not trying to mess your knees up. All right. So I bring the stools in. We're going to work the back. Point here is to widen your arms up as much as possible, and try to bring your chest up to the bar if you can. And the reason why my arms are wide, to be honest, is because if I would have them closer, this broom handle would break. So if you got something stronger, more sturdy, you can use that, and you can bring your hands a little closer. And there's another variation where you use the underhand grip as well. So it's just like different types of rows that you're doing using body weight. And one last variation would be to have a third stool, which I do have. I just didn't use it here. Put your feet on that stool, and then lift the motion. Do the same lifting motion, but you're incorporating more of your body weight when you do that. So it should be a little more difficult to do that if you're more advanced. And this one was tough to do for a minute, to be honest. But again, the goal is to do as many as you can in 1 minute. And of course, after you complete all the exercises, you'll drop it down to 45 seconds. Complete all the exercises, drop it down to 30 seconds. And using a timer is very beneficial. Of course, on the Android, you can just push the restart, or you can dismiss and start it when you're ready. So push and restart, you'll probably lose a couple seconds transitioning from one to the other. Alright. This one I didn't really need the bar, but I used it as a way to determine how far I should bring my legs up. Some legs are coming up right to where the bar is, right before it. Not, trying not to touch it and knock it over, but. And this is a side-to-side motion, not a straight up and down motion. Just showing you different variations where you can hold on to something. You can no hands, use no hands. And this was actually when the messages from Raul were coming in, so that's why I decided to look at the phone. But of course, if you can do this without distractions like I did, that's probably best. Now I bring in the third stool for the dips. Now, dips can work your chest or your triceps as well. This is more of a tricep workout, but the more vertical your torso is, perpendicular to the ground, then the more likely you're going to be kind of working both your chest and your tricep. And of course, the further forward you go, the more work you're putting in on your tricep. And the further back you go, if like my legs were backwards, or if these stools were high enough and I didn't have, and I could go all the way down without my legs touching the ground, then that would, and no stool at all, I would just have my knees behind, bent backwards. Then that would work more with my chest, and that's gonna probably help you with what you want more so than anything, is getting that curve around from your armpit down to your lower chest. You do more of these straight up and down with your with your knees down, or even if you are slightly leaned forward, and maybe if you put your feet on something behind you, that'll also help as well. This is just regular squats. You can have your feet as wide as you want, really. Just kind of whatever you want to work here. But the point is just to keep doing the repetition for a minute. Try to go all the way down. I think I probably could have gone down a little bit further, but you get the point. Alright, so after we do these squats, I'm going to go ahead and get into another ab exercise. These are just crunches. And this video actually got cut short, but my battery died. But just a crunch. You can have your knees up or you can have them down like mine. Try not to put any tension on your neck by pulling. Put your hands behind your neck and pulling up. You can put your hands behind your neck, but as long as you're not pulling up and putting tension on your neck, then that's fine. But I just do it without my hands up. So that was for a minute, but the video cut short because of the battery. And so this is more so for your shoulders. All right. Just put your feet up on a chair or a stool or something like that. You can have your feet on the floor, but these are just a little bit easier to do and better to do for your shoulders if you have them on a stool. Or if you're really good, you can put your feet up on the wall. Do like a handstand to try to make sure you're as vertical as possible, and do the same movement. I've done a few of those, and probably in the next video I'll do that. So this is going to work this workout here is going to do your core, your shoulders, your chest, your triceps, your back. Only thing it doesn't really get in is your biceps, but you can do the variation of the back exercise to do that, and you can also